teach you how to put a nice little sink. It's a really short depth sink or shallow sink. It's really good because actually you could put some stuff inside and yet it probably uses as much space as a pedestal sink. So just follow me and I'll show you some little tricks to start putting this thing together, okay? Determine obviously that you have a nice and lined up, piping, which we had before because it was a pedestal here. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to determine where the beams are, since the space in between these two sections of the wall, these two corners, are kind of awkward or odd for the normal carpentry setup. We're going to do we're going to do a little investigation with a nail. Now, you have to realize that behind the walls normally are electrical cables, piping, and all the stuff. So you don't want to use these massive screws to anchor the cabinet against the wall. What we're going to do is we're going to try to find where the beams are, and then we're going to determine by using a long thin nail to avoid a lot of damage. Then we proceed to make the proper anchoring, okay? Now that we determined where the beams were, the studs, I made a mark, wherever they were going, and I put the first screw over here. I actually had to cut the base molding a little bit because it used to be a pedestal, so the molding was going across. Made a little cut so we can actually recess it against the wall. Now I'm using screws, regardless of what they are. Normally I use exterior screws. But don't exaggerate in the size of the screw. In other words, once you know that a beam is 1/2 inch inside the wall, you just need 1/2 inch, but its thickness and about 3/4 or maybe 5/8 of thickness to go through the stuff. And the reason again is because the walls can have some heating wires and piping and all that. You don't want to go ahead and cause any hazardous situation, okay? Of the cabinetry or the sink installation is the faucet. Now we have the upper part over here, or the sink itself, and we have the faucet. So I'm using a kind of cushioned type of thing to avoid any scratches. It's always good to put a towel or work on the carpet or whatever you have. Just make sure that you have it in a place when it's not going to get scratches. So the first thing that you want to do is to put the faucet. Now this is a 4-inch of hard faucet. You're going to put it, and you have some washers. And this is way simpler over here instead of connecting it over there. You're going to have the 2 washers. You're going to connect it from underneath. Now these faucets come already with a gasket, a nice clear gasket. So you don't need to put silicone or stuff like that. I mean that will give you trouble in the short future because it will start getting dirty. You will not be able to go through the fine line of silicone that you're putting, okay? Next thing that we need to do is to put the drain itself. So now this is the pop-out mechanism or drain mechanism, however you want to call it. It's just a drain. So it comes with a set of washers. Back in the days, you used to put like plumber's putty over here and install it over there, but that was messy and it caused a lot of healthy conditions because. Unhealthy conditions because of all the bacteria and all the stuff. So now you have a nice little gasket that will go here, a rubber washer. After the rubber washer, you're going to install the perforation, the little hole over here, facing towards the back of the drain. So that will help you. That's the mechanism that will close and open and close the drain itself on the bottom, the little popper. We are at the final stage of the assembling of the faucet itself. All the mechanisms over here are fairly simple to work with. I mean, pretty much just the hand, tie it up, and then maybe just a little plier to give it a little extra, pressure, and not too much because you can break it. Make sure that you adjust the popper thing, before you actually put it on top. If you want, you can actually connect the hoses this time and you just need to drop it and do the proper connection inside the cabinet itself. Okay. Okay, this is the last part of the project, meaning the connection of the sink itself to the waste and water supply lines. What you want to do after you install this thing is to add some silicone on the side and on the top, some clear silicone, or the preference of yours. And then you're gonna connect the lines. Now these lines were connected before to the sink, like you saw, and now they're connected to the hot and cold water respectively. We have the trap. This is 1.25 inch trap. It's going to 1.5 inch drain line, so it has a reducer, like a washer reducer that is going to connect it over there. And just test that everything is going to be connected by hand. If you need to use a small tool, now that you just need to add a little bit of pressure, and that's pretty much it. Clean all the joints, so especially the old ones. Just clean it with a nice rag or so. And that's pretty much it. So I hope this video helped you to understand how to put a cabinet, a sink. And I see you in another video. Please subscribe. Thank you so much.